Okay, I have these two sheets looking at you. The first one is to use when doing the actual assignment, okay? First, you're going to do some ridiculous things on this. It's not hard. It says write a sequence of 3 consecutive counting numbers starting at 4. 4, 5, 6. Boom. Okay, write a sequence of 3 consecutive counting numbers starting at X. So I don't know where it starts. Now compare it to this. How many units is 5 ahead of 4? It's 1. So this would be X plus 1. Back to the 4. How many units is 6 ahead of 4? It's 2. So X plus 2. So for counting numbers, that's the sequence of the unknowns. X, X plus 1, X plus 2. Write a sequence of 3 consecutive odd numbers starting with 7. Now it's odd numbers, so like that's hard. I mean 7, 9, 11. 3 consecutive odd numbers starting with X. So again, 7 can be like our X. Now, how many units is 9 ahead of 7? It'd be 2, so X plus 2. Now, how many units is 11 ahead of 7? Not 9, back to 7. It's 4 units ahead of 7, so that's X plus 4. Write a sequence of 3 consecutive even numbers starting with 4. 4, 6, 8, evens. Write a sequence of 3 consecutive get rid of the even. That should say even. That should say even. Starting with X. So X. How many units ahead of 4 is 6? It's 2. Now let's look at the 8. How many units ahead of the 4 is 8? It'd be 4, so X plus 4. So again, the starting number, and then the starting number plus 2, the starting number plus 4. Same with the evens and odds are basically the same sequence when they're unknown. Counting, okay, X, X plus 1, X plus 2, and so on. So remember these sequences because then they make this assignment a lot less miserable. The sum of 2 consecutive counting integers is 35. Find the two. First off, instead of 35, I want to put 43 because I said so. There's a reason for that. You'll see on the back page when you do it. Okay, they're talking about counting. Now, first off, equals 43. And there's 2 numbers at their sum. The sum means you would be adding them together to get 43, but you don't know what they are. Now, they're talking counting integers. So I just need 2 of them. So I put X and X plus 1 because that's the sequence for counting. I don't do X plus 2 because I don't need a third number. There's only 2 of them. Put the ones in front, make your V. You got 2X plus 1 equals 43. Okay, so minus 1, 2 times X equals 42. Then divide by 2, and X equals 21. Now what's the next number when you're counting? Probably 22. Okay, so 21 and 22. Sum of consecutive odd integers is 20. Find the 2 integers. Okay, so there's 2 of them, so just a plus. They add up to 20. Okay, odd. What's the sequence for unknowns with odd? X and X plus 2. I don't need the X plus 4 because there's only 2 of them. Again, X and X plus 2. That's the sequence for 2 consecutive odds. You just need the first 2, though. Okay, so 1, 1. Combine like terms, you got 2X plus 2 equals 20. Minus 2, minus 2. So 2 times X equals 18. Then divide by 2, you get 9. Okay, what's the next odd integer after 9? Well, it's probably 11. So 9 and 11. The sum of two consecutive even integers is negative 50. Negatives can be integers too. Find the two integers. Integers are any number on a number line, okay? So equals negative 50. There's just two of them, so I'm just plussing two things together. Okay, so sequence for even integers right there. There's where I wrote the sequence. Well, that's just like odds. It's x and x plus 2. Put the ones in front. So it's 2x plus 2 equals negative 50. Then I minus 2 from each side. It's negative 52. Then divide by the 2, and that's negative 26. You got to be careful here when you're doing negatives. Remember, you're at even integers. You might think the next even integer is negative 28, but that's wrong, okay? You go the other direction, and it's negative 24, okay? Because you're always moving that way on the number line, okay? So I'd be at negative 26. The next even one in the progression this way would be negative 24. It would not be negative 28. That's in the wrong direction. Because if you add those, that's negative 50. So that's what you'd have. Okay, the sum of three consecutive odd integers, that is 57. Find the three integers. Equals 57. Okay, now you're adding three of them together, so I'm going to put two pluses on that side. So look up the progression for odd integers on this chart. Okay, there's the odd number sequence. And I'm going to put all three of these because I need three of them. So I start with x, then I go x plus 2, and then I go x plus 4. So you're going to kind of use this. It helps, and the logic makes sense after we talked about it. X matches x plus 1, then 6 is 2 ahead of 4. So 7 is going to be our x like here. That's 2 ahead of 7. The 11's 4 ahead of 7. Even's the same thing. 2 ahead of there, and the 8's 4 ahead of the original amount. Okay, now you got 3 x's, but they're all on one side. So V those up and add them. You got 3x, but then you got to add the 2 and the 4 to get 6, and then solve away. So it's 51. Divide by 3, and you get 17, okay? Now the next odd one, now you're in the positive, so you can think this way. Next odd one would be 19. The next one would be 21.